Hello Gemini, this is your July 1st, 2016 to July 15th, 2016 reading. I will be using the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland for the main read, and for the advice cards, the Romance Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. Decks have been pre-shuffled, so let's get right to it. Okay, so starting off this read, let's move you down a little bit here so we can see things. As we go into this period, it looks like you're right where you want to be. In the United States, we're coming to the July 4th celebration. And this is actually, I believe, the 1st is a Friday. So this is probably going through that weekend for you is when this energy is coming in. So it looks like you're going to have a really good July 4th. Things working out, having a good time. You know, multiple little things. Like, I feel like, you know, a celebration, doing some of this, some of that. You know, everything's circling around the same celebration, but, you know, a lot of good things. Some fun food, some fun times, hanging out with people, things like that. It feels like when when Tuesday comes after the holiday weekend, if you're in the United States, of course, or even if you're in another country or somewhere else that you don't celebrate that, the weekend's still going to be good for you either way. But once we move out of the weekend, I feel like it's going to be like back to the grindstone, and I feel like you're really going to enjoy that weekend a lot. And it's just one of those things where, how do I get more of that in my life? I'm getting more of a career sense here. I feel like what you're doing now, I feel like you feel kind of like being watched. Like, I feel like you feel like somebody's breathing down your neck at work. So even though we had this good weekend, when you get back into the normal swing of things, whatever the situation is, and it's not career for everybody since it's a general read, but whatever situation you're going back to, and things go back to their normal pattern, there's kind of a feel like you have to, like you're being watched, like you have to do everything perfectly. You're considering other options. It doesn't feel like it's something new, but it feels like something that kind of folds in and out for you. People around you, like the situation we're dealing with, I feel like there's people around you who are constantly kind of pushing you through and helping you get through things, and it may not be to your liking every time, and this might be one of those parts where things have to get done and people are kind of pushing you to get them done. It may not be in the schedule you prefer, but you're kind of going along with it. The energy around you is good. So I feel like going from after that weekend through to the 15th, you might have a little hard time moving through life, just in the sense of like, I feel like you're kind of rather just relax and just kind of enjoy like a bowl of ice cream and watch a movie type situation, or just kind of like go and do something fun. You'd rather do fun things than things that need to be done. And I feel like after the holiday, there's a lot of things that need to be done, and there's people around you making sure you get them done. But I feel like it's going to be nagging at your heart, like, oh, I'd rather just like do this instead, or I'd rather just, you know, go rollerblading or something like that. Your support system, though, you have good people around you that are helping you keep on track. I don't really think it's like a bad thing. It's just like we all have these times in our lives where we just rather not deal with responsibility. It's not really an option for you at this point, and you're going to keep going forward with the things you have to do. For some reason, though, during this time period, it's just one of those things where you're kind of like, all right, I'm going to keep going. I don't really want to do this right now, but it's got to be done. Let's get the advice cards in there, too, because I'm curious what we got going on here. Alright. Alright, well, with these cards added in, starting here, like I see this is extremely connected with the weekend here. So if it's not family, it's whoever you're hanging out with on the weekend. Like I feel like it's kind of connected and pulling you in that direction. Like either you're hanging out with family on the weekend for the holiday weekend, or if you're in another country, the first weekend there in July, and you're having a good time, and it's just like the fact that it ended, just you feel like, oh, that was just the best time, and I really wish that would keep going. I kind of even see you trying to get people to do it again the next weekend, but whatever it was, that just people don't have the time and they just can't seem to. I feel like there's also some other things where you want to do some projects or hang out and stuff and people aren't available, and that's kind of irritating a little bit. Not in a bad sense, it's just kind of like you want to have a good time, and you know, I love it when you're around type feel, and they're like, well, I love it when I'm around too, and I love it when you're around, but I got these responsibilities and I already have these plans. Going to the forward here, the change, like these almost feel like separate situations with these added cards. Because I feel like in the beginning part, there's something that's, whatever, like it's a family issue, you love the time with family, and then when it ends, it's kind of like, bummer, I'd really rather hang out with my family. And then the second part here of the reading, which is going into the end of the first 2 weeks here, the 15th of July is where this ends. I feel like it's a different, something else. You've kind of changed your focus, you're doing some other things, and you're deciding, you know, how much you really want to do. I feel like you have a few options, and you're just like, well, which one do I want to do? I almost feel like you're torn. Like in the beginning of the period, you know, you're having fun, it's great, you want to keep doing that, and you can't get things to keep going in that direction, so you're like, all right, what else can I do? And then all these options present themselves, and you're just like, which one? And I feel like some of you are actually going to try to do as many of them at once as possible, and the people around you are going to be like, can we pick a direction? Or they're going to try to pick a direction for you and just kind of pull you along with them. It's still good times, but I feel like going closer to the 15th, I feel like there's too many projects going on, and it might wear you down and make you a little tired. I would, if you do decide to do multiple projects, which might be your thing, I would maybe prioritize like what one is the most important, and then have 2 backups, and just see if you can make time for them. To, you know, the first priority, get the majority of it, and make the second 2 like if they don't happen, that's okay. But if they do, this is what I'm gonna do type situation. There's a lot of mental activity going on here, and I feel like there's a lot of thought. You might spend more time in thought than action in this sense. I feel like there's more thinking than doing in this part, and it might be paralysis by analysis. You might just like think yourself out of opportunities, and by that I mean if you take too much time just deciding what you want to do instead of actually picking something and going forward, opportunities may pass you by. Nothing really that major, but like I said, if you go through opportunities, I'd truly write them down and then rank them from what you want to do the most to the least, and then pick that top one and just start with that, and then have some couple other options that you're also moving towards. Even if you just gotta like say there's 15 options, because I feel like there's a lot of mental activity here. So just for argument's sake, say there's 15 options and there's 6 of them you really want to do. If it's that much where it's really hard to decide, write 1 through 6 next to them, take a dice, roll it, and whatever it lands on, start with that one. Might as well. Just that way you can actually do something and enjoy it instead of things passing you by. Okay, that is your July 1st to July 15th reading, mini read. I will put information in the info box to get readings from me if you'd like to. I'll also have a main video on the channel about how to get a reading from me if you would like to. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.